What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Be the Trader. Today, I want to really talk about how my previous week has been. If you listen to Be the Trader, you know that I actually had an episode released not too long ago about what my focus is for February. And I call it Focus February. Well, it sucks, but I have to say I have not been focused. I have not been disciplined. And it's affected me quite a bit, actually. You know, for those who don't know, I did find a job that I'm full-time remote now, and that's what I've been working on, learning how to do that job. And I have to admit, it is overwhelming, you know, when you're trying to learn something new. But I'm so thankful I have this opportunity because now I can trade and work full-time. Because as you guys know, trading doesn't take a lot of time, especially when you find what works for you. But this month has been challenging. And last Friday, if you follow me on Twitter, I mentioned on Friday I took a pretty big hit. I lost 5 times or maybe even 6 times as much as I normally like to lose. And that sucks. It really does. I mean, I try to make a 3R gain for every 1R loss, but instead I took a 6R gain for and that was tough. I talked to a couple of traders like Alex, for those of you know, is Tagger Trades, and Kyle Williams, and they kind of gave me some better perspective because I wasn't upset about the trade itself. It was a type A setup. It was something I love to trade. I took it and just didn't work. I mean, it had news come out after hours, and granted, I was in the shower, which he shouldn't do. I even told myself, let's wait for the first 10 minutes. But even if I would have waited, I still probably wouldn't have gotten out in time because it had it was just a big spread and just spiked. So I'm still happy that I got out when I did. It did trend down lower after the fact, but you can't worry about that. What I do know is I wasn't mad, but I wasn't happy, right? And I wasn't beating myself up, but it did affect me. And I can tell because this week, today's the 15th of February, so this entire week, it's Saturday, but the week of the 15th, I was trading out of my lane, I have to admit. And I don't want to say I was trading out of my lane specifically. I mean, I was still trading setups that were mine, but I was trading them very weird. I was in and out, in and out, in and out. I told myself I would test a different type of strategy of trading, like covering the dips, shorting the pops, and recycling. And I think because I was so focused on that, I was focused on making quick money, right? And so that's where my focus was. Instead of covering the dips, shorting the pops, it was more like make the money, make more money. Like it was that slight difference in mentality that really affected my trading. I can tell you that this week was a scratch week, and I also broke my rule of looking at my P&L. I did that twice this week, and that's how I know I was focused on the wrong thing. And I think it's because I'm just literally getting out of my comfort zone trading different. And I had a podcast episode with Tim Bowen where I was on Steady Trade, and I told them how, you know, when I start to find success, for some reason I want to step out of my lane. It's like a self-sabotaging kind of cycle. The difference is today, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm actually going to prevent that because I'm going to recognize it right now on the show and say for the last 2 weeks of February, it will be my setups and the way I trade, because I do have a belief that you don't need to trade every day. And there's a lot of videos out there of respectable traders that say this. And there was actually a tweet today by Harry Haas. Shout out Harry. A great young kid who's killing it. And he even said he's noticed on his P&L for the month in prior months that most of his money is made or 1 or 2 days out of the month, or a few trades out of the month. And that says something. That says, why not just focus on that? So it kind of reinforced what I was doing in the past. Just focus on the best. And that's what I'm going to do for the next 2 weeks. Just only trade what I see as an A+ setup. And the ones that I see that I kind of want to dabble with, I'm not going to trade it. I'm going to put fake orders and write it down on a piece of paper and just track it that way, because it's just not helping me. If I'm trying to get to this to where it's full time, all I need to do is have those, one trade a week, right? If I'm making $800, $1,000 in 1 week on one trade, then I'm good to go, right? That's something that we got to put in perspective, because yes, it's $100 a day or $200 a day. It's $50K a year. But $200 a day is the same as $1,000 a week, right? So what if you can make that in one trade? And so that's what I'm really trying to focus on. Not making that, but more so being selective. I got influenced by some good traders, and they didn't tell me to trade this way. It's just, you talk to many traders and you're like, maybe I should try that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, recycling shares is something that I've done in the past, but because I've been so focused on it, I miss the big picture on all these trades. Like, I've been entering trades with my heart racing, because I've been so nervous that, I need to get in, get out, get in, get out, instead of just getting in and letting the trade work and then getting out when it makes sense and then re-adding. Like, that is the mentality that I need to have. I shift it completely. Like, I don't make a gradual shift. I don't know why I have this habit of going from one extreme to the other. Instead, I need to stay where I'm at, continue to grow, and then slowly maybe recycle along the way. Maybe 100 shares within my core, right? Just to get the feel. But that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the week, the rest of the month. But I had to admit, I did break rules. And I didn't break rules instead of trading out of my lane. And I know I said that at the beginning, but what I did break rules is just how I trade it when I'm in my lane and how I looked at my P&L. And it did affect me. It definitely affected me. So hopefully this helps some of you guys out there. And I know we all deal with challenges, but one of the biggest things when I interviewed Tim Bowen is he mentioned that people just, they get in that cycle of not, they have a plan, but they don't stick to it, right? And I'm usually really good at sticking to my plan when it comes to trading. But what I'm noticing, that applies everywhere. Not sticking to your plan in life. Like, I have a plan this month to trade this way, but I broke that plan. And that macro plan is affecting every day. So I'm going to leave you with that. Stick to all of your plans in life, not just trading. Thanks, guys. And if you haven't already, please give the show a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts or any platform that you're listening to. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching. And please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified, because I've released videos weekly, sometimes 3 times a week, but at the very minimum 1 time. Thanks again. Have a good day.